I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Hey, what's good? Happy Hump Day. Good afternoon and welcome. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app, powered by our friends at the Happy State Bank. We're watchable on TV, Fox 34 News Now. That is weird. That's not our normal view. Just smacked me in the face. We look bigger there.
You do.
Do I need to fix my hair? You know?
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
No. You can watch us on YouTube. You can watch us on the Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV. You can listen in on your 950 or on your AM dial, 950 AM, the number you need for that. However, wherever you're joining us from, we are so happy you've decided to make us part of your Wednesday. We being myself, Chois Woodman. Josh Faupel graces us with his presence today, as does Thomas Dye. Haven't had Thomas part of the Bottom Line in quite a minute. So good to have him back. Y'all could join the conversation as well. Your thoughts, your comments, your questions, all of it welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. Take that app anywhere with you, even if you're listening in out in Glasscock County, Texas. What's up, Josh?
How's it going?
It's good.
That's good.
We get Women's College World Series action today.
Heck yeah.
I am very excited for such things. I'm, a lot of these games, I have nerves, and I know it's kind of dumb for a fan, but it's not dumb for a fan. I'm backing off of that. No, it's fine. I have nerves going into a lot of games, and I get really invested in anybody that's got a double T. I've been that way. I think a lot of Red Raider fans are.
Choice is at the. I just called you Chess because
Chess.
Because I'm talking about the chess team.
Okay, I was hoping you were going there.
Choice.
If there was
on the sidelines of the chess, just like
if
white
Texas
knuckling
Tech
it.
was televised in a chess national championship, I'm there. I'm telling you, I am that kind of person.
Oh, I believe that actually.
If I could go watch the meat judging championships, I don't know, maybe not, but I would definitely be interested to try it out. I don't think you're the judge. Active it would be.
Yes, I don't think it's audience participation.
Oh, really? I bet we could work it out. But yes, so a lot of times in big games, I've got some nerves going into it.
Yeah, but I get that.
This one, not so much. I don't. These games, I don't know. Maybe it's just right now. Maybe once
it gets closer to that time, and
once we're there, I'll be like, okay, we're 2 wins away from a natty, folks. So maybe it will change. And maybe it'll be different. I'm going to tomorrow night's game, so maybe that one will be different in person. But I don't want to feel like it's all cake from here. But getting as far as you've gone
feels the kind of way.
Yeah, it's just like this has just been fun and almost kind of unexpected. At least for me, I expected them to do really well. I don't know that I expected them to get to the National Championship Series.
I shared this with a friend of mine at lunch yesterday that, this has been fun, and we're getting sentiment all over the place that, softball is all up in people's business, and they're excited to be watching softball for probably the first time. And
most fans, yeah.
Yeah, but we expected, I think when I say we, I mean a collective of probably most of Lubbock who heard the news and stuff, that Tech would do well. I don't think a significant part of that population thought we would be where we are.
You know, when I started watching this team later in the season, I watched some games early, but
I say we like I'm the one making the I'm the one doing it.
You're the one. When I started watching it earlier in the season, or later in the season, it became apparent it's really hard to hit Nigeri Kennedy. So when she's on the mound, you're going to have a chance. That's going to be obvious tonight. But if she can stay healthy, that really is the hinge of whether Texas Tech's the best team in the country or not. And, man, so far it's been that case. You haven't lost a game in a month.
Choice of the famous jinx.
No. It's a stat. It's not a jinx. It's a stat. May 2nd, I think, is the last loss Texas Tech had.
So it's quite a while.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
When you've been playing
before
as
the
much.
Big 12 tournament?
It was. Yeah, you didn't lose. Have not trailed.
Big 12 is single elimination, right?
Have not trailed since.
That's a crazier stat.
Yeah, you haven't trailed since then. And you've been right there, rolling through postseasons, Big 12, regional, super regional. Man, I don't think you could script anything better for Hollywood than the way this has gone. To run through Oklahoma in the semifinals, well, to beat UCLA before that, who's the biggest softball power there is, and then the new biggest softball power in Oklahoma, and now the Texas Longhorns, you're still what most would consider your biggest rival out there.
We got on your Ask Level podcast that you produced and put out yesterday, one of the first comments on there was now and forever, ellipsis, horns down.
Yeah, level through a pretty strong horns down. Threw one out there. Yeah, so, man, it does feel like it's just fun. I don't think the opponent matters that much, but man, if you do win a natty and do it while beating Texas, it'll be extra sweet. Just a little sweetener on top.
Do you? I imagine that will be a part of every time you bring it up, also, because of course you won the national championship, but you won it against Texas,
and it is the year after they leave your conference.
Yeah,
that's part of it too. I mean, same with OU. You beat them the year, because there were people like, okay, fine. Well, someone won it that wasn't OU. Someone won the Big 12 that wasn't OU, but it's because OU and Texas are gone. And they say, so people were diminishing Texas Tech's ability to win a Big 12 championship this year. But you already ran through OU. You do it again against Texas. Obviously, it would be for a national championship. I mean, every bit of it. I think you have already solidified everything you've done this year, but go finish.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, getting across the finish line would absolutely be, obviously next level. But
yeah. So I think, did I say on the mound? That's a hard habit to get out of. In the circle, my bad. In the circle. Someone corrected me on that. It's a hard habit to get out of because I'm a baseball guy.
Yes.
I've called softball games before. I've called 5 or 6 softball games on the radio. And
Tech?
No. Techs are all, we're like student run for home games. Sick. But no, everything I've done is friendship related for softball, I think. That's it. But it does take some habit to get away from on the mound, because there is no mound there. It's flat. Thank you for the correction. All right, we got headlines for you. Not a ton, but some big ones coming up here in just a little bit. Plenty of storylines to get into. FPI win totals that are out there. Mac Engel hating on Texas Tech. He does this every quarter or so for Fort Worth Star-Telegram. And a positive article towards Texas Tech as well. All sorts of stuff to dive into over the next 3 hours. You got the bottom line on 100.7 The Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
You're hanging with the bottom line on a hump day here at 100.7 The Score. 100.7 The Score mobile app and 107thescore.com. Choice Woodman alongside Josh Faupel, Thomas Dye, all with you today. Y'all continue to chime in. Any thoughts, comments, questions, pour them in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. What were we talking about before? Softballs and Canadians.
Yes.
Okay.
Oaxacans.
This would be a sport that Texas Tech got a national championship before Puff Fun Texas did. Okay, that would be a lot of...
Take what you can get.
A lot of good. I think the Canadians also call chicken sandwiches chicken burgers. GTFO. Here with that nonsense.
It might be Britain too. I know they do.
I thought chicken burgers are the ones that are grilled, which is still a chicken sandwich, right?
I think it would. Well,
or like ground chicken.
Okay. Getting specific now. I would think it would just depend on the bun.
Y'all are speaking a foreign language to Josh.
Yeah, I'm not the best communicator for this particular subject.
I consider, but like when we eat chicken, we are a red meat family. I get it. When we eat chicken, it's like eating a vegetable in our house.
Okay. What?
It's like we're having chicken tonight. What? Vegetables?
How often do you have vegetables?
Not. We are bad parents when it comes to vegetables.
Need fiber, Chris.
I know. My body tells me at times.
There's
That's what coffee's for.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I don't even drink coffee.
What?
No, occasionally I'll drink one of those like green naked juices or something if I need my fiber. Everybody wanted to know that. Wow. Yeah, we do not eat vegetables near often enough. We might throw some green beans in occasionally or some corn, but it's not enough. If I'm cooking steak, then we'll throw some asparagus in.
Okay.
But
with like 5 pounds of butter,
probably,
which is not the bad part. But.
No, I don't. I use olive oil on the asparagus.
Okay.
And salt and pepper. Turns out pretty good. Do you ever cook with the flavored olive oils?
No.
They're pretty good.
If I'm going to flavor something, I'd rather just like there's the truffle infused or there's like garlic infused or whatever. I'd rather just use
actual
those
truffle
things.
Or garlic.
Yeah.
Thomas, your new home Leopards are playing for a state baseball title today. Yes, they are.
Pretty cool. I don't keep up with them anymore, but
they're dead to me.
I don't really keep up with high school sports.
I understand. How could you forget Nova Scotia, where Carly's love interest saw the total eclipse of the sun? Nova Scotia is... I'm trying to think of a city in Nova Scotia. Is that Calgary? Calgary. I said that as West Texan as possible. Calgary. Our clear leader on the team has been there before multiple times. It's not that often that most of your players have been there outside of OU anyway. Kennedy leads the way, and the other players follow her lead and confidence.
Thank you.
I mean, the team is playing very confident. OU's X's showing off their rings from 4 straight championships didn't distract Tech women. Don't imagine being in the final series should be any different. I agree. I'm just saying it could happen, especially in game 1. You could see nerves be there. And you really need, if there are nerves, you need some moment to settle you in. Whether it's... One thing that does help is when Kennedy does what she's done so often and goes and strikes out the side with a lot of times the other team's best 3 hitters and makes them look pedestrian to open the game. Not saying that will happen, but it has happened a lot, and that can really settle your team in when you've got a pitcher like that. It's like mowing through competition and mowing through good hitters. Kobe says you could have fully collapsed after the 2-out game-tying home run, but they responded instantly, and that's been the whole time they've been in Oklahoma. Gave up a home run to UCLA, responded the next half inning. This team has fight. Yep. You nailed it, Choice. This team does not look like a first-timer. This team is really good from Sooner and Lubbock. Yeah, it's impressive to see what those girls are. I think the leadership from Kennedy, I think having a coach that has been there as an assistant in Glasgow really helps. Yeah.
I think what's cool about this as well is how enthusiastic Tech fans are about watching softball, who a lot of them are admitting it's their first time watching and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're not begrudgingly watching softball. They're watching, and it is exciting.
It's active, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right. I'm shifting gears here. We will get back to softball and other things. other such things. But did you see the Lions? This was a couple of days ago. 4-time Pro Bowl, second-team All-Pro center Frank Ragnow has retired at the age of 29. That's kind of a big deal.
How old was Luke Kuechly? Like 31, something like that?
He was into his 30s. Megatron was
30.
Yeah, into his 30s, but barely. Was he just 30?
I think so. Because he retired at the same age that Barry Sanders retired.
Was Sanders that young? I knew Sanders. Let's see. Calvin Johnson retirement age. He retired in 2016 at the age of 30. This says 30 on here.
Okay. Well, Barry Sanders retired at 31.
31. Still, like, these are very young retirements.
29 is...
Is this just did the Lions cause people to retire? Is there something about Detroit?
Actually,
because these are really young retirement ages.
We were literally talking about two of the biggest retirements, famously young, and it didn't click that you said Lions.
They're Lions.
We were talking about the Lions.
No, it didn't. It didn't for me. I wasn't bringing this up to be a Lions thing.
Yeah,
but Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders.
Yeah, it absolutely didn't click.
And Ragnow's not on the same level as those, but...
Yeah, I was going to say Matt Stafford was probably about to retire until he got traded. So.
Yeah, actually, probably.
He might have. I mean, seriously, like, he's not on the same level as those two, but he's still...
Young retirement is still
He's still a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's only spent 7 seasons in the NFL, and he's 29 years old. That's a big blow for the Lions.
Yes.
And he's leaving $20 million on the table. He's made about $50-ish million in his career. So you can absolutely live off of that if you've been responsible.
How are you supposed to feed a family on $50 million?
You can be just fine. But it is a lot of money left on the table, especially for someone that hadn't been... I don't know.
We're talking about numbers that we don't understand.
No.
It's very funny.
That's what we do in sports talk radio.
Conceptually, but
that's how it always is.
Yes.
We are very much in the fraction territory when it comes to to the numbers we talk about and the ones we actually make. He says, I had to listen to my body. This has been one of the hardest decisions in my life. The Lions organization has been absolutely incredible throughout the process, and I can't emphasize this enough how grateful I am for this team and for all the fans. It's an absolute honor going to battle for you all. So, I mean,
go ahead.
Well, this isn't something we see often.
Yes.
But it is something we see more often than we used to. Young retirements. Do you think it is something that will happen more often as we continue to move forward in the sport of football?
Yes, and I think there's a couple reasons for it, because injury is very realistically a part of it, but also the money's a part of it too. Like, you don't have to play 15 years in the league to make any, amount of money. Like we just said, this guy made $50 million throughout his career, I already forgot the number. $50 million. He doesn't have to play for another $20 million. And if he's healthy enough to where he feels he can live, the rest of his life, the next 50 years, still being able to, play with his kids, grandkids, that kind of stuff, then the money's, is the rest of the $20 million going to be worth that? Right.
And for a guy like that that's played 7 years, he's already in the NFL pension, which is an average of like $50,000 a year. That's $50,000 of just, here's money for you afterwards. You have fully provided health insurance. Like, everything is covered. Beyond that, you get all sorts of stuff that comes with that NFL pension after the fact. So he's in that. I mean, he's set for life just fine. But man, it is I just see those headlines. I see someone retiring at the age of 29 that is doing fine.
I wonder if it's different for skill positions than it is for offensive, defensive lineman kind of stuff, because
that are beat up every play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, you think of legacy. I think of legacy a lot more in the skill positions than I do in offensive linemen, because they're not of course, are a big part of the team, but they're not the first names that I think of. Do wide receivers play longer, even though they may be a bit more battered or are sacrificing maybe some healthy years later in life?
Sure. All right, more from you on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I've got interesting little tidbit coming up as well, and a word of the day on the way. I think Kaylee's Daily's coming in as well. Lots to still get to. It's the bottom line on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thanks for hanging with us on a hump day. It's the bottom line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. 100.7 The Score mobile app. Powered by friends at Happy State Bank. It is time for a word of the day. As we have teamed up with the Home Zone, making your house a home, to give away lots of cash money. We gave away $500 to Shirley yesterday. We'll give away another $500 tomorrow. All you got to do, Josh, is listen in at 10:45, 12:45, and 2:45 here on 100.7 The Score. Take the word we give you, go punch it in at doubletsportsnetwork.com, and you're in the drawing for the cash. Also, you can head to Soggy Dog on Thursday, June 26th. If you want to join us out there, and you'll have a shot at $2,500 cash then. All right, your word for this Wednesday, June the 4th is beavers.
Beavers.
We'll have some beavers in town. Coming up in football season. Oregano State's coming here for the third game of the year. Beavers, Beavers. Go type that in at doubletsportsnetwork.com. All right. Now it's time for Kaylee's Dailies. I'm Burgundy. Caw. Josh, Thomas, our fine listening audience, welcome back to Winged Wednesday, or Winged Wednesday. The Great American Bird Book takes us out to California, the only state that this bird is known to occupy. Introducing the California thrasher. The California thrasher is a small ground bird that only lives in Southern California and northern Baja, Mexico. It primarily lives in desert brushlands, but can also be seen in a pond and woody tree ecosystems. California thrashers are a rather dull-looking bird with a brown top body and a gray underbelly and feathers. The robin-sized bird does have a distinctive curved beak shape that they use to dig in tough soils and search for worms, grubs, and other insects. Surprisingly, the biggest threat to the California thrasher is stray cats. Clint, box up your cats. Since these birds love to live in bushes, stray and feral cats often find them and make a meal of them. There we go. The California thrasher.
There's actually studies that outdoor cats are an ecological nightmare.
Really?
Yeah, because they
are they worse than Burmese pythons?
I don't know.
Like that have taken over in the Florida Everglades.
Oh, is that like an invasive species?
Majorly,
kind of thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They want you to like Florida's put so much on it that they pay for major snake hunts.
Wow.
So I'm sure, yeah, feral cats are.
Yeah, because they'll do it just for fun. It's not even for food. They hunt just out of instinct.
All right. Back to the chat line. Aaron says, you ever been to Detroit, Choice? I have never been to Detroit. I think I've been to 43 states. Michigan is not one of them.
Don't drive a Kia. They'll steal your tires.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Dude, my wife drives a Kia.
Oh, don't take that car.
don't take it to Detroit. Okay, good to know. I've heard plenty of things about Detroit. Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to live there. Might want to visit for a little bit, but yes, I can see how it could drive people into retirement. You look like you need a list today.
Okay.
10 years ago this week, these things happened. Okay? 10 years ago this week, Caitlyn Jenner introduced herself to the world.
Okay.
Kim Kardashian was pregnant again.
It's wild that happened the same week.
IHOP updated their logo.
Was that No. Updated their logo. Interesting.
Broadway cast of Lion King and Aladdin got stranded in an airport together and had an epic sing-off.
Okay.
The trailer for Sharknado 3 landed.
Nice.
Sounds like a pretty boring week. Much better list coming here. Top gas station snacks.
Okay.
According to, America. These are the, I guess, best-selling
all of America.
Snacks. Yeah, just all of America. Any guesses? This is a top 11 list. I don't know why we went with it.
What is it?
Pringles?
Not on the list.
Hot dogs?
Also not on the list.
If Pringles and hot dogs aren't on there, I don't know what is going to be on the list.
Dr. Pepper?
There is something that is on the rollers, but not hot dogs.
Is it bratwurst or something? Or I don't know.
Taquitos.
Okay.
Taquitos are number 4.
All right.
No, this is top selling. This isn't just some person's list. This is the top selling snacks at gas stations. They do not have drinks, so that's why Dr. Pepper's not there.
Like potato chips are going to be like just generic. It's going to be like a generic category. For
actually, everything else is pretty brand specific.
Oh, okay.
Oreos.
Doritos.
No Oreos. Nacho cheese Doritos are number 9. Average cost is $5.63.
California.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Callie. Peanut M&Ms at 11.
Okay.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos 10. Nacho cheese Doritos at 9. The Starburst Minis come in at 8.
Minis. Okay.
Nerds Gummy Clusters? Are those on there?
They are not on the
Oh
list.
my gosh, I hate this list.
Reese's.
Bugles at 7.
Interesting.
That's a good gas station snack. Like I don't know that I've ever bought Bugles anywhere but the gas station.
Yeah.
I like them. You can put them on your fingers and be like, I'm a witch. Never mind. 6, Snickers.
Okay.
5, Chex Mix.
Okay.
4 was Taquitos. 3, Skittles. This one I question. 2 is Rice Krispie Treats. Are people getting Rice Krispie Treats at the gas station?
Yeah. Where else would they get
I don't
them?
think I've ever... the store. I've bought
Just like a box of Rice Krispie Treats?
Yeah, I got 4 kids, man, of course.
Okay.
Get a bundle of it at Costco. Hello.
Yeah, we stay pretty loaded on the Rice Krispie Treats. And the number 1 gas station snack, according to America, the best-selling gas station snack, and I'm calling big BS on the price here, beef jerky.
Okay.
The average cost they have at $5.63. No, it's way more than that. I guess depending what size you're getting.
Yeah,
Jerky's so expensive.
They might be thinking about the single, like the...
Oh, Slim
rather than
Jims
the bag.
probably... Yeah, Slim Jims probably factor into that. So, where those aren't near as expensive. But the whole bag...
I think I've told this story before, but very beginning days of me being vegetarian, I had gone to the grocery store and I bought Slim Jim because I love Slim Jim. And then I pulled it out of the pack, like out of just the bag that was in. And I was like, I can't eat this. And then I set it on my table.
This was such a bad decision.
And it stayed there for a year and a half.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You didn't even give it to someone?
No.
If I can't eat this cow, you're not going to eat it either.
Pretty much.
Is it beef in there? I don't even know what's in a Slim Jim.
It says the first ingredient is beef.
Okay.
Do you want to guess what the second ingredient is?
Chicken.
Kind of.
How do you get kind of a chicken? A turkey?
The second ingredient is mechanically separated chicken.
Well, I didn't want to know that. Yeah, it's not going to keep me from eating it, so it's fine. I'm going to take this live chicken, grab it with some robot arms, and tear it apart. It's how I think of when I see mechanically separated chicken. So
I think it's how most people think of.
Yeah. Just going to pull this live chicken apart. Go full on, what movie am I thinking? Bull Durham.
Oh, okay.
Sacrifice a live chicken. All right, y'all keep chiming in. We will return to a few of your thoughts on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Get back to some softball. A weird article by Mac Engel, softball-wise. A positive Texas Tech article by Heartland College Sports. Plenty of other stuff. Josh, have a good rest of your day.
Thanks.
I won't make you, though.
You too.
Bottom line rolls on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's a Wednesday with the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. 100.7 The Score mobile app. Y'all continue to chime in. Thoughts, comments, questions, all of it welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Choice Jamie with you here in the First United Bank studio. Yeah, we'll wrap up that whole Mac Engel thing. He just everything, and anybody that's read his articles, his little blurbs that he puts out. Mac Engel is a major hometown homer for TCU. Anytime he has ever written about Texas Tech, it's bitter. You used the word in the break, small. I think that's a good word. It's just, it is.
He's going after Nigeri Kennedy's personal decisions. And
which he has no clue about.
That just seems a little unfair.
He has no clue about. Because you nailed it. If his daughter, if his son, if one of his kids wanted to go take $1 million to go play somewhere, it's not like you're like, oh, it's $1 million signing bonus in Major League Baseball. No, you are still going to get a degree. Heck, there's a chance she's got most of her degree done at Stanford. I don't know. It is unfair. It's a silly thing. And then he concludes it by saying, she did the right thing.
To make him feel better about the situation, he is criticizing Nigeri Kennedy's, basically saying she didn't care about her education.
Yeah.
Okay? This is the guy who is 100% in support of a school that had a girl on their basketball team last year that had been accused of sexual assault 3 different times. And this at two of the times before they brought her in, and one of the time while she was on the roster, and was A-okay with her starting and playing for their team.
Yeah.
She was such a monster that the WNBA wouldn't even touch her.
Yeah.
And TCU was like, yeah, Sedona Prince, you're our girl. Go start in the post for us.
Exactly.
And you're going to throw shade at Nigeri Kennedy for making this, questioning her, basically saying she didn't care about her education. She just went for the money?
It's silly.
And first of all, I don't know. I would have guessed 100 out of 100 of us would have made that same decision that Nigeri did.
If you're going from reportedly $50,000 a year to $1 million, yeah,
I thought it was more like 1.2, but okay, whatever.
I think that was reported at one point, but I think it has been pushed down. Okay. But either way, it's still that's semantics. Yeah, you're talking about
maybe that was JT Toppin's starting salary.
I think actually.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, the point taken. It's silliness.
Did you look up his articles? Did he write anything about Sedona Prince?
I have not seen anything. No. I could be wrong. But yeah. I may have missed it in my. I'm scrolling through all these things he's written about Tech over the years, and
if you put me writing for the Fort Worth Star Telegram and you ask me to write articles about the Red Raiders, I bet a lot of them are going to be nice and rosy. Okay,
could be.
You ask me to write about other schools that are our rivals, I bet they're not going to be as rosy.
Probably so.
Okay, Mac Engel's a TCU guy.
Well, he always has the pro TCU stuff.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere that he's a tech grad or that he has a tech degree.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I don't
but
think he's a TCU grad though.
I don't think he is either. But he's written in Fort Worth forever. So, look, I think, like I said earlier, if he would have written this article when Nigeri Kennedy arrived and questioned everything then, hey, you're leaving Stanford, this, that. But it seems you look dumb right now questioning, oh, is it worth it? When she's literally playing in the championship game tonight. She was the best pitcher in the country all over again. It's not like anything went wrong for her this season. Nothing on the softball field went wrong for her. She made the $1 million. Nothing. It's just stupid. It's sour grapes is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, my school didn't do this, so I'm going to gripe about it. Now, if he wanted to take a different angle and talk about, well, is this good for the sport? And is this, that? Okay, that would be completely different than what he wrote. But
basically saying that she took the money and didn't care about her education is totally unfair.
It's silliness.
It's a shot at her. It's a shot at Tech, obviously. And suck it, Froggy Boy.
I like that one, actually. Froggy Boy. All right. More from the chat line. There's a whole lot rolling in there. Didn't they pay Van Lith $800,000?
I don't know what they paid her. I just know she was on her third school, and
Making a lot
they
of
probably
money.
paid Sedona Prince that much or near that much too.
Aaron says, so Mac, whatever his name is, achieved his goal, banking on tech, media, social media, doing their thing and getting him clicks. You're exactly right, Aaron. That's what he wanted. That's what he does every time because he knows Texas Tech is a fan base that will react to negativity or stupidity and give him the clicks. I mean, you could probably...
because we're passionate and we fight for our school.
Exactly. He doesn't do it against TCU because he knows that there's not near as many out there that will do it.
It's not going to bite the hand that feeds him.
No. He is a clickbait artist, and clickbait's not exactly the right word because clickbait usually just gets you to click on it and there's no substance to the article. But he knows how to stir the pot. He does a very good job at it. And that's the whole reason Stephen A. Smith has a job and gets paid as much as he does. I don't think Stephen A. Smith believes the majority of what comes out of his mouth. Maybe he does. But, man, he says some really stupid and outlandish stuff to get a reaction from people.
Right. There are certain broadcasters that do that, and they get paid handsomely for it.
Because they know how to stir the pot. And Mac Engel's pretty good at that. So he did achieve his goal because I'm sitting here talking about it in Lubbock, Texas, when we could be talking about and should be talking about a potential national championship tonight. Well, I guess it won't be tonight. Hopefully tomorrow night against the Texas Longhorns, a national championship series going on tonight. Someone did ask earlier what the odds were. I just looked, and it is a even odds game.
Yeah, I said this morning that I bet it would be pretty close.
I mean, it is a absolute pick'em for this game.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if Tech wins this series 2-0. I would not be surprised if they lose it 0-2.
Yeah. I saw one that was minus 110 on both sides, minus 110 for Tech and 120 for Longhorns. So it's as close as it gets. Yeah, I don't think any result would surprise me at this point.
A high-scoring result.
Fair. I meant series results, yes. But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean 2-0, 2-0, 2-1, either way. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, but high scoring would surprise me on either side. The over-under I saw was 5.5 runs tonight.
I'll take the under.
I think I'll take the under as well. I expected a 2-1 game or
right.
2-0, 3.
Maybe it'll surprise us. It'll be a high-scoring series. High scoring by like 5-4.
That does happen sometimes, but it does feel like pitching rules the day when it comes to college softball. The elites of college softball definitely has in Oklahoma City up to this point. Someone did say Mac Engel graduated from TCU.
All right.
That would make sense with a lot of it. He can write about TCU having baseball success. He can't write about TCU having baseball success, so he had to write something.
That would be funny if they didn't have more success than us.
We could take a shot there.
Yeah.
Hey, take your shots at the Longhorns. Go for that. I mean,
they made the postseason too.
Write about the stupid stuff that Jim Schlossnagle says. See the quote he had? That it's harder to win the SEC championship than a national championship?
I heard about that.
That's a dumb thing. Write about that. Because, holy cow. Now, in fairness to Schlossnagle, which I don't know if you ever have to be fair to him,
don't feel like he's earned it.
That quote was prior to their regional. He didn't say that afterwards as a sour grapes thing after they lost. But still, it's one of the dumber things I've seen. It is not harder to win a conference championship than a national championship. It's not. Or maybe it is because Texas is so used to getting powder puff regionals that they just give them the easiest regional. That happens a lot of years. So maybe it is easier for them to get an easy path to Omaha.
UTSA team was good.
They were.
Still is good.
Still is. You rooting for them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a main rooting interest?
I can't remember even who they're playing.
We'll look that up and go through some of the teams in a little bit.
For Arizona. That would be my first choice.
For the whole thing?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Okay. I can get on board. It's the bottom line on 100.7 The Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Well, I'll answer and then you think about it. Okay? I'm going Caleb Douglas because I feel like...
I started to do that too.
Yeah, I feel like Caleb, although I think he had a really good first season with us, he's like, I feel like it's important to have a dude. Mm-hmm. The guy, the lead dog.
I'm with you.
I would say the same thing about the running back position, but I think the wide receiver position you do. And I like the pieces that are around him. Mm-hmm. Both guys coming back and guys that you've brought in. But I think he's going to be the lead guy. Josh Kelly was the lead guy last year. I think you need Caleb Douglas to take that role this year. A guy that defenses feel like, hey, we got to rotate to his side, which opens things up for other people. Or, hey, because he's a deep threat, we got to keep a safety deep, which helps you in the running game because they can't play him closer to the line of scrimmage. Those kind of things where he can really, if he's having a great season and he is making teams respect and focus on him, it opens things up for maybe your guy John Carlos Miller over the middle.
Yeah,
something like that.
I thought about that. I'm like, a big step forward for Caleb Douglas is 1,300 yards probably because he's sitting almost 900 last year.
Almost 900. Yeah, I would even, like if he got to 11 and a half, I'd still call that a big step forward.
But I agree. You need a go-to receiver. You get one?
I would think Micah Hudson, since I think he actually might be a starting. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
I would love if he takes a big step forward.
Oh, man, if he had 10 times as many catches.
Were we at 6 last year?
Was it 5 or 6? I can't remember.
Can't remember what the number was.
Like barely 100 yards.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he take that.
Absolutely. I'd take it. I think you've got a coach and a staff that is very purposefully not hyping up Micah Hudson this time around. I think that he will. I think there's talk that it's like, I don't even know if he's going to play much. I think he's going to play. I think you've just got a coaching staff that's trying to douse any expectations because of how that ran with like wildfire last year, spread like wildfire after the expectations got going on him. Others I considered, Jamie, Sheridan Wilson, who I think will be your starting center. Okay. I think he was good for you last year. I think on an offensive line that you want to be a strength, he needs to be really good for you, being the anchor of the offensive line at center. I think another either or I would throw out there is whoever your second interior linebacker is that's primary, whether that's Ben Roberts or John Curry. I think either one of them to take a big step forward next to your stud and Jacob Rodriguez would be good. Mm-hmm. Kind of go with an either or on those guys. And then I think you can do either ors on just pick one of your pass rushers from a season ago to help be in the mix opposite of David Bailey and sometimes Romello Height. I mean, you could throw in Charles Anderson. You can throw in Braylon Rigsby. There's a Amir Washington, which I think he's interior now. But a number of those guys that can, if they take a big step forward from where they were last year, it just...
Yeah, especially when you're talking about adding the guys to the mix with them that you have.
Right. So I think there's a lot of options, especially on the defensive side, because you weren't that good defensively last year that you could pick from.
Like a Mohorn.
Mohorn's, yeah, I think he was good for you. I think you had plenty of guys that you would say were fair to good defensively. Or
head stretches.
Yeah, head stretches definitely showed things. But if you can get them to be more consistently good, that's where I'd really like it. Multiple people saying Micah Hudson, so there's a few on the chat line agreeing with Thomas. This one says Micah Hudson, if he can take a big step, he can open up a lot for Aiken, Douglas, and lots of other guys. He doesn't have to become the lead dog, just become a threat. Fair.
Yep.
Very fair. Running back, someone says, I don't know what to expect out of the running back position this year. Because I don't think you're going to get huge steps forward from your two sophomores, Cam Dickey and Williams. And obviously you have Quentin Joyner coming in, but I think you're really going to get it kind of a three-headed approach there. I think Joyner will lead it, but I think you're going to find a way to get Williams the ball quite a bit because he is good in open space.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Ben Roberts needs to take a step forward, someone said. If we were looking at video game rankings, who are the top 5 guys? I don't remember when this game came out or was coming out when we were at Media Days last year. Remember all the players were...
Right.
And they got to learn their ratings. Taj was the clear number 1 when it came to the ratings. That's an interesting question. Who would be your top rated players?
Jacob Rodriguez would be really high, wouldn't he?
I think he'd be number 1.
Yeah.
I would guess that. We'll visit that. I don't know. David Bailey might be up there too.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Douglas would probably be your best offensive.
Probably, unless you're going offensive line with ratings. We'll revisit that in a moment. Get you a dad joke or two coming up next on 100.7 The Score.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.